Today, it is 30 minutes and I'm going to go through PPP. I wish that I have more definite formulas for you, but I actually think that formula is right now stuck at SBA place. And I don't think it is as easy as what the spiritual leader was doing. I know the White House wants equal access to PPP money, but it's really challenging because there's a lot of things, moving parts. How do you formulate this formula so the small businesses who were in business but didn't pay any payroll, or who are in business and didn't have profit, okay, but have gross profit, doesn't have a net profit. So all of these things, the government has to figure it out. And aren't we glad that we just here tell you what to do instead of we're the one that making those formulas up, and it'll be a difficult task. And I want to, since you're going to do it yourself, so I want to knock this one into your brain. You have to know this, okay? You have to know the PPP2 you are about to apply. And you probably heard my brief message from, I think, the weekend night. And I did a brief message saying that don't apply yet. Don't apply yet, because they are still yet coming up with the calculation for sole proprietors, for the contractors, for the small businesses. So I say that you wait, because they are, on 22nd, they said that it will come out in days, but this is already days. This is already 22nd all the way to 6 days, and plus this 2 days in March, already 10 days. They haven't really come up. So let's just be patient, but we want to know whether you qualify or not. So keep in mind, you qualify if you meet a couple of numbers, right? The first number is you spent your PPP1 numbers, you spent it. Number 2 numbers, the other numbers you need to know is 25% of decrease. What is decrease? Sales, gross sales. Gross sales compared to the prior period, which is a year before, same period, if you drop by 25%, you qualify for PPP2, okay? And then the other one is know the number, because if your loan is so big, over 2 million, you don't get it. So we're not worried about that. So know that your loan need to be small. And then the other number is 300. What is that 300? 300 employees. If it is over 300, don't even look for PPP2, okay? You got other ways to get your money, but PPP2 is for small people. And what about number 20? Number 20 means that if you have less than 20 employees, you can actually apply now within the short time frame, 14 days. And the bank, the SBA, they are making you the priority. So that is the 20. See, those are the numbers I want to throw at you, so you actually know what I'm talking about, right? And then also March 31st, 2021. Folks, what is that date? That date, PPP2 is done. If you didn't apply for that before that date, you are done. And when we talk about the date, and of course, the government can extend it. If they keep on dragging on the formula, they have to, because we didn't even have time to react, and then they're done with the due date already. So here's a quick summary again. PPP2 period, January 1 to March 31st. This is the period you apply, and the due date March 31, and know that you need to submit 7 days before March 31, because you submit, the bank do it, the SBA approves, that's approval day is March 31st, it's not your submission day, okay? Keep that in mind. 25% down, you know what that means for gross sales, right? And the PPP1 used up, and 2.5, 3.5, that's another number. And what is 2.5? 2.5 means 2.5 times of your average monthly payroll. 3.5 times of your average monthly payroll. You are 2.5 people when you are not restaurant and hotels, and those ones got hit the most. And you are 3.5 category if you are restaurant and hotels, right? So that is what you just keep that in mind. Now, February the 22nd, and they did amendment, they did a change to PPP2. 6 big changes. I want to go through that with you. Start from February the 22nd. Number one, 14 days period. I already mentioned to you, and the 14 days period is reserved for small businesses. 98% of small businesses have less than 20 employees. So they say, okay, folks, and if now you go to the bank, so if you are sole proprietor and you want to apply right now because they open the window for you, but if you are a sole proprietor and you also heard you say that you don't apply, and especially right now they're coming up with a new formula, but if you already applied, folks, you know that there is no way we can go back. Let's say they came up a new calculation and you're supposed to get a lot more money if you use the new calculation, but you already submitted based on the old calculation. The old calculation is what? The old calculation is to use the net profit of your organization, of your company, of your small businesses, divided by 12 times 2.5 or 3.5, depends on what business you have. So that is an old formula, and they're working on a new one. And the speculation is, I will show you the form. I'll explain to you about the speculation, why they're saying line 7. What is that? And that is gross profit, okay? So now 14 days, we have 14 days from February the 24th and to March 10th. And this is the time for small businesses. Hopefully they came up with that formula tomorrow, then we can all go in and get that done before March 10th, because you will get the funds very fast, faster than normal. And so that's one big change. So now I know that right here, I want to take you to a site to look at how to look for lender, because obviously when you have these 14 days, you want to submit your application, you really is looking for a lender to begin your journey. You look for community CPA to get you prepared, but to get that submission, it is really a lender. Of course, community CPA works with many lenders, and we, based on your situation, and we make a decision of where to send your file. And we know some of the financial institutions are more eager and more familiar with your type of business. That's where we send them. But for yourself, this is how you're going to look for it. Okay, follow me on here on the website. And you see, I came on to SBA.gov. When I came to SBA.gov, and this is just the general website. When I came in, it's just like that. And so I simply just click learn more on the COVID. So I came up to this page, and I hope you can all see the page, right? If you are on the phone, it's going to be a little hard, but follow me right here and find a lender so you can get matched with a lender or search for lender in your area. So I search eligible PPP lenders. So I'm going to put in my zip code. So right now I'm at Bloomington, Minnesota. So I'm putting in 55425, and I search. So this will give me all the lenders in my zip code area. It tells me who is eligible. Look, so US Bank branch, building trade, FCU available, TCF National Bank, and then look at these, right? So you can find the one that you are familiar with. This is where you go about doing and finding your lenders. Is really important. You have to have your lenders lined up. Okay, so now I'm going down. Remember, there's six big changes, and we covered one. Okay, we covered one. We tell you the 14 days period. I know some of you feel urgent about it, but you just don't really have the formula to calculate. So you're kind of like, what's the point, Ying? Why are you telling me that? It just only make me stressed. That's my job. My job is to make you stressed. So you actually know that, okay, community CPA is a place to go. I'm just kidding. But here is calculation formula, okay? Calculation formula, this is where I need to go back to where I was again. I'm sorry. I need to stay on that screen for you. I share, and I'm going to end this. Okay, I came over here. I want to show you the calculation formula. The formula really is not there right now, okay? It is just a speculation, but I do have a understanding of what they're trying to accomplish, so I can tell you something. And here, and you understand that we have, where's all my formulas? Okay, so I'm at a place where I'm showing you an IRS form, right? Schedule C. Schedule C is sole proprietorship. Like when you have a business, small restaurant, mama papa shop kind of thing, and you probably use Schedule C, you didn't really have a corporation. So when you use Schedule C and then you put your total sales right here, number one, am I right? You put that on number one, and then cost of goods sold. What is cost of goods sold? Are the food, right? You purchase the food. Let's say we have $100,000 sales, total sales, but our cost of goods sold is $40,000, $40,000. So what is my gross income? My gross income is $60,000. Am I right? And but I have so many expenses right here. So between my advertising, between my insurance, between my legal fees, between my salaries and everything, and my total expenses over here is actually already $75,000. So my 31 is what? Negative 15,000. In this case, when I file my Schedule C, I actually don't pay taxes because I have a negative, right? But you also don't get PPP because the old PPP is calculating on this $15,000 negative. So obviously you don't have payroll, right? You don't have payroll because you didn't even make any money. So now the change is to consider the business, those overhead expenses, they want to not considering that. They want to look at the 60,000 goes, should we calculate the 60,000 divided by 12? That is 5,000. My 5,000 times 3.5, and what do I get? I got 17,500 for PPP, didn't I? Instead of 0. So I got that number. So this is a really very simple way to understand what the government is trying to do, but how are they going to eliminating this? How, what if someone says that, oh, I didn't know I put all my supplies under supplies here. And, I did not know that I supposed to get a gross income. My gross income equals to my total income. And, or I put all of my expenses under cost of goods sold. My gross income is also negative. Okay, so the accounting application could be different. That could cause complication. Doesn't mean your accounting application is different, you are wrong. For example, in some businesses, your cost of goods sold would including labor. But in some of the businesses, your cost of goods sold should not be including labor, like a restaurant. Restaurant cost of goods sold is the cost of goods sold for food. So you should not including labor, your waitress, your cook, they should be under salary right here, right? So with that, folks, and then you actually understand the complication of what government is going through, and they are trying to figure out what to do. And I want to show you 2019, your tax return. Whether you're gonna have a PPP dollar amount or not, a lot determined by this line. I want you to follow me. This is 2019 1040. Sometimes our business people, they receive a 1099 income. They don't want to use Schedule C because they don't have anything to deduct. They just put 1089 miscellaneous income on the tax return. Where did they put it? They actually put it under line 7A right here. Other income. Oh, I know it's very small. Let me make it big. See, right here. They put that other income in here. and they pay self-employment tax on there. They don't trigger Schedule C. In that case, you actually pay self-employment tax right here. Other taxes. This is where you're gonna have a line. You're gonna have a line here. And so this is the number that you would see, a tax number that you're paying taxes on. You're paying that dollar to IRS. That's your self-employment tax. If you have this line 15 number in there, for sure you qualify for PPP too. You just have to figure out the formulas and what the government says about that. And the most recent news from the SBA is that they're developing a formula. Looks like they will change their form. The form will go to the lender. The lender would have to change their formula in the system. Like big banks, like bigger banks, like US Bank, they have it all online. If SBA changes their formula, they have to redo their system. So I just think that there will be a lot of delay. We're already in March, and March 31st is the ending day. So folks, you just need to know that you really need to be monitoring the situation, okay? And nobody can really help you other than yourself. Even if you don't do it yourself, you want someone to do it, you still have to monitoring the timelines, making sure that things are there and you can go for help. And so I want to show you for the tax return, and this is where the Schedule 2, you know, did you see that? Let me make it big, I'm sorry. See that? This is the additional taxes Schedule 2 on 1040, okay? And in here, you have this self-employment tax. Did you see that? If you have a number here, you are the candidate. You are the candidate. You may not even know you have that number. Sometimes that tax number, you go like, no, I didn't pay for it. And even though there is a $4,000 in there, I'm sorry, I didn't pay for it. I still got refund, of course. Of course, you still got refund because you have ERC credit, you have CTC credit, your overall credit was 8,000. Here is only 4,000, so you still got $4,000 refund. Don't get fooled with your refund amount, thinking that, well, I got refund, so I'm good. No, you look at this line. If you have a number on Part 2, other taxes, number 4, number 1 item, self-employment tax. If you have that number on your tax return, boy, you belong to this team. You should apply for PPP too. I don't know why you don't. So make sure that you know to come back to look at this, okay? All right, so now let me go to the other changes for you guys. Those are important changes as well. Let me just make sure I share the right screen. Where's my PowerPoint? Where's my PowerPoint? Here. All right, so the next one is background knowledge that I need you to have. So the process is changed. In the past, SBA was handling all the process. They use a system called E-Tran and the PPP loan processing system. And that system is really sensitive for whatever weird reason, and they would just reject you. So the lender, the bank, doesn't really have a right to make changes. Now they changed it on February the 22nd. The SBA said that lender can make a eligibility determination for you, can do it for you, don't have to submit all the document to SBA. And when they do the application, they can submit that when you do the forgiveness application. So the reason I want to mention this to you is that when you go to the when you go to those eligible lenders, you know that they actually can get to you a lot faster than before. They have a right to allow the eligibility to allow you to borrow money right away, even if the system, even if SBA system didn't work on you, didn't work for you. And then of course the bad records for people, for individuals who has the record of felony, within the previous years, as long as you're not in jail and you are eligible because they crossed the second line out. Okay, so in the nutshell, just know that some bad record, it doesn't matter anymore. You used to be rejected when you apply for PPP 1, now you can come back to do it. Then delinquent in federal debt, a lot of student loan is a federal debt and you don't pay and you're delinquent, and it used to be a blocker for you and you can't bypass it and you don't have a right to apply for PPP. Now they're saying, no, you can. They are reconsidering that. So taking the roadblock out for you. ITIN number is called individual tax identification number. I always tell folks that if you have never heard of ITIN, don't worry about it, because that is not your life. And trust me, people who have a life that related to ITIN, that would be the first thing they know when they come to United States. So ITIN folks are the people without a social security number, and they are with a taxpayer identification number. So what the SBA were saying is, because there's a lot of people in business with ITIN number, folks, a lot of them. So with that, the SBA were saying that, okay, if you are, read their definition. The PPP statute is clear that all lawful U.S. residents may access the program, but a lack of guidance from the SBA has created inconsistency in access for ITIN holder, like green card holders or other here on a visa. The SBA will address this unfair inconsistency by issuing clear guidance in coming days. This is like the formula, kind of not there yet. But otherwise, the eligible applicant cannot be denied access to the PPP because they use ITIN to apply their taxes. So let's say if you're an ITIN holder, let's say you have a C corporation, you're not a small business, you have a big business, you're an ITIN holder, I would go ahead, apply for PPP. Not because we're waiting for that identification, but this is already set. They realize there is an inconsistency. So I would work with lenders. I would like you work with the lenders, do it yourself, and present your ITIN identification and present your business and go for PPP application. Of course, ERC as well. Okay, that ERC, employee retention credit, that has nothing to do with ITIN. Even if you're an ITIN owner with a business, because you do 941 filing, right? The quarterly payroll taxes, and then you are eligible. And just very quickly, and someone was asking me about ERC deadline, and that deadline is not March 31st. And that deadline, you have 3 years to file 2020. Okay, or 2 years after you made the payment to the 2020 941. So could be longer. Let's say 3 years later, you made a payment, then 2 years behind it, right? So that would be, this would be related to ITIN. So knowing that is a known issue in the system, and the people with ITIN numbers with a corporation should go ahead and apply. But people with ITIN number but filed Schedule C, like the one I was showing you with the IRS, forms, and those folks, and you can wait. And because you're waiting, not because of your ITIN, you're waiting because of the formula is not here yet. And if you just have ITIN, everything else is cleared, you're eligible, and you have ITIN, I would just go ahead and apply, okay? And then to summarize, we only have 30 minutes, so I want to respect our time. And the steps to take is, please know which bank you want to go to. If you don't know which bank you want to go to, you can always contact Community CPA. And of course, the Community CPA is, Midwest, a regional CPA firm. We're here in the Midwest, but we have clients all over the place. We are really, technology had really allowed our firm to be that internet and cloud CPA firm. We have clients from California all the way and to the other end, to New York, and everyone here. and they know to contact us. So don't be limited with your geographical locations, and knowing that you can always get help from us. And determine that you are eligible or not. Remember, I talked about the 25% down, and you need to at least meet that, right? Know the amount you qualified, calculate those pending formulas as soon as that come out, and I'll put out a video really quickly on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. When I put out the video, you get a notification. And submit to your bank online or in person, whichever is faster. So if you work with community CPA, we actually submit it for you. And then we are the one actually working with the bank. So that is it for today. And I do see one question. I'm going to see whether I can answer this one. Did they take away the Schedule C cannot be negative amount? That is the spirit of White House. That's what they're trying to do. They're saying that on the Schedule C, if you have a negative, you could never qualify for PPP. But they are small businesses just not making it, but still got impacted by coronavirus, right? So they're trying to reconsider line 31. Is line 31 Schedule C is really magical, or we should pick another number or combination of the number? So we're waiting for that. So your question is that, your question, did they take away this cannot be negative amount? I guess they don't care whether it's negative or not. Right now, the new formula is gonna address that. So you will have the PPP new calculation formula soon. In days, they said in days, on February the 22nd, and the February the 22nd to today is already what? 8 days. So days, right? Not months, not weeks. So they better come out a little faster. So I'll talk to you again. Thank you for following me. And I hope you enjoy our video and the webinar, and always give us a thumb up. Okay, appreciate it. Bye-bye.